Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. And last episode I got the Gemini and Delta and the shape bank windows to the jeweled complete state. I'm continuing to ignore the last of the rose windows puzzle for the moment, so this time I think I'll look at precision and then maybe polyomino if it all goes well. We shall see. Right, let me just pause while I go and find the precision window. That's Gemini and Delta, that's shape bank. It's polyomino, that's the precision window. Oh dear, I forgot to unpause after I'd gone and found the precision window, didn't I? So we were on 35 and 35, I guess. And now on 37 or 44. And we have some interestingly difficult puzzles, because I did the easier ones in this area. And I'm now, I think that's a level 5 that I haven't done. And then I'm on to level 6. Oh well, that'll teach me not to pause things. All regions must have an area of exactly 5. Oh, that's interesting. So this doesn't work because I can't go left, I can't go up without blocking that one off. Okay, good start too. So let's instead do that. And then this one can come up and around. And that's forced to go to there. And that one's forced to there. That's forced like that. Hang on, how many spaces have we got in there? 11. I'm not sure this quite works. No, it doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. Let's just back off from here a bit. Right, so I'm taking that one up 2 now. And if I check this, we've now got 12 spaces in here. Means this one can come out straight out, and we're left with 10 for these. Right, that can't double back, has to continue up. It's going to have to go through there, at least 2 spaces. This has to continue up, and I don't know, can continue that way. That can do that. This isn't quite going to work. So that can continue up that way. Does have to come across, and that one can fit into there. And now that wasn't too bad. It's quite a nice flow. Precision 4, Gemini and Delta. These two have to be different shapes, which means one of them has to be an L and one of them has to be an S. If I make that the S, then the L has to go that way. And if I make, so whichever one I make to be the S is going to come down to the bottom, and we're going to get a straight. I just don't know if the straight goes left or right. And I don't know which way the L extends. Fine. These are different. That one, of course, can be a square. Oh, this is interesting. Have I just locked myself out on this? So, the way I've done things here, this has to join to that. And it has to be the same as this and different from that, which doesn't work. So I'm going to have to do that. Pretty sure that's the only way that's going to work. And this one also has to be an S. I don't know if it goes down or up. And this one's going to have to be a T. Which means this has to be a T, going either up or down. If it goes up, that's a T as well. At the top, we're left with an unfillable space, so I think that has to go down. But that doesn't work. This one cannot be. So these have to be different. That cannot be an L. Can't be an S when we isolate that space. And that does have to be a T, unless I've got things badly wrong so far. That's a T. Then that doesn't work. And if that's a T, and it all breaks down at this point. Okay, let's try this again. These two cannot join, so I can do that as well. I can do that. This, could be an S that way. Which would mean this one would have to actually be straight. Which works so far. That's an L left or right. This one's got to be an L as well. It could be an L going that way. This has to be something different. So it could be a T, which would force this one to be a T. So that all works. But can I fill this top corner? Can't go down into an L because all of these have to be, I've already broken them down here really early on. Doing that was obviously a complete no-no. Because there's no way to fill that corner. Okay, so this does have to go down to be an L. Can't be anything else, because these two have to be the same shape. Makes that, does have to be an S. And that one also has to be an S like that. Okay. If the straight was right, then I have a problem. When I do that, then I can only do a T here. And then I have to do an S there. This has to be not a T or an S or an L. Still going to have to be straight, which means that one has to be straight, but that doesn't work for up here. Oh. So it cannot be T's because they'd end up back to back, getting in a mess. They can't be S's for similar reasons, therefore they do have to be L's. And this one can't go across there because then can be an L that way around. Oh, that's interesting. It's 23. I need one more. That's 24. Okay. So that's not a T or an S. Could be an L that fits in like that. That one as an S has to go there. But an L here doesn't work because it forces another T up there. So that does have to be horizontal, which breaks everything. Okay, that's a possibility though. Okay, that works a bit better because now I can do the L and the L and do two squares. I can do a nice little S down here and an L into the corner. This has to be a T piece, which you can do like that. Can't do it like that because then that gets in a mess. So that's an L coming down there. T piece comes there. Really? No, not really. That's looking very S-shaped again. Okay, so that comes up there, and that comes along there, and that comes in there, and then that all works. I thought I had to be close. Okay, that was a level 6. Let's do another level 6. Yeah. All regions must have an area of exactly 3. So they're either straight or elbows. One of these goes straight, one bends. This one bends, then this cannot go straight. So this one goes straight, and this one bends. And this one bends, and that goes straight. So that's straight, elbow, straight, straight, elbow, straight, straight. Let's get some colours. Elbow, straight, elbow, straight, elbow, straight. That cannot go 2 down. It can't go 2 up, so it has to go 1 up and 1 down. That can't go 2 down, so it goes at least 1 up. This can only go there. If this went 2 down, then actually this has to be straight. This goes even 1 down, that's broken off. So this has to go 2 up, and that has to go like that. Okay. And I don't know on that one. This could go all the way down, because then we can have a separate piece in the corner here, and that one can just bend up that way. If it doesn't, if it goes 1 down, then this is broken. So if it goes 2 up, then this goes down and we have straights and straights. That has to be at least that far. This bends down, then that one's straight, that's an elbow, and we've got a blocked off corner. So that has to go straight, I think. Means this one has to be right angle, but it could go that way, or it could go that way. Means this has to be straight though. It was the same. This has to be right angle as well. What just died? I think my headphones just died, but for some reason it's affected the mouse cursor. Okay, so that can go that way and that can go that way, and then this has to come out straight, and that has to go straight down the edge, and this has to be no, it can't be that way. Let's try this again. Being careful. Yeah, no, that has to go that way. And that has to go that way. Or does it? Yeah, because otherwise these two cells get chopped off. This has to be straight, and that means it has to go like that. It means this one has to be straight, so it has to come down. But now I've got myself in a mess over those two. And that leaves those two. Yeah. That was the last place that I worked out that I had to go that way. Now, if it didn't, then we have to put it straight through here, and this cell goes wrong. Right. So that does have to be like that. That does go like that. This is a little bit annoying because I'm fairly sure actually everything was working. Start again. Those two both have to come out. One of them has to turn. That one turns, this is broken, so that one is straight, and that's locked in, which means that has to turn, that's locked in, so that has to be straight. Okay, this can't go two down, so it has to go one up and one down, and something in the corner. That's all fine. This has to be an elbow, and that's the only way it can be without cutting off the corner. Okay, I don't actually know how this continues around here, so let's continue some. This one, if it comes three down, that's broken, so it doesn't come three down, so it comes at least one up. And this cannot go up, so as an elbow it has to go that way. So that has to go all the way up. And that has to go up to there. That has to come out. This again can't come down, or this is blocked off, so it has to go two up, and that has to go like that. This has options. If that goes up like that, then that would have to come like that, and we need some more coming around there. And we need three up that way, which gives big problems with this. Coming three down works like that, since I can't do three going straight up. And this is going to have to be an elbow. Could go down, could go up in that way. This one is going to have to be straight. And comes at least one to the left. That's another elbow. And this one's a straight, which has to be horizontal and has to go at least one to the left. So this is an elbow that can't come out that way. And that's a big problem. I have to go that way. Now I can't get a straight in there. Just check this one again. Yeah, that doesn't work because I've got an area of two that I can't fill without blocking the one off. So I can put that down, that goes up, and that fills in there. Fine. So if that was an elbow, then it goes all the way rolled, so it has to be an elbow that way. That was an elbow, then that can be 3 straight that way, and this one can be 3 straight that way. And that actually works, at least this far. I wonder why that didn't work first time. Oh well, it worked second time or whatever. Where are we? 39 and 44. There's still 5 puzzles on here. Oh, there they are. Including several that aren't red. Difficulty 4. All regions must have an area of exactly 4. So these are similar colours, similar shapes. And these are different. These two are different, and these therefore have to be separated, which means that is an L, and this is an L. This is not an L. Could be a T. Should make that an L. This is not an L. Which would make that an L. That's an L. That's a square. And that's a straight. That was a little bit easier. Can I see through the trees? Yes. Just. Difficulty 2. Okay. Area of exactly 3. Which means we have to do that. Otherwise we cut off something. So this one's also an elbow. This one is not an elbow, so it's straight. That one's going to have to be straight. That one's going to have to be straight. That's going to have to be an elbow, as is that. Okay. And the next one, that one. Okay, all regions must have an area of exactly 18. And we have 2 regions. It's 19, now it's 18. Done. Two puzzles, and they are here and over there. Level 4. Area of exactly 3. And three identically shaped regions to be filled in, either same or different. So if we did that, then we can't fill this in because this would have to be straight as well. So we can't do that. This here cannot be part of an elbow shape. It has to be straight, either horizontally or vertically. Means this one has to be part of an elbow shape. Means this one's going to have to be straight. Is that straight? That's can't be horizontal. We cut a cell in the middle, so that's straight. That's straight. That's an elbow. A couple of elbows around there. That one has to be an elbow, so that's going to have to be an elbow, which means these ones can be straight. Okay, and this one pretty much everything is going to have to be whatever you call that shape. Which means this cannot go like that because it blocks off that from being part of a shape. It cannot go like that because it blocks off that from being part of a shape. So it's going to have to go something like that. So that can fit in there. That'll work, because this doesn't have to follow the same shape. That doesn't work because that's the wrong size. I didn't mean to fill that in. That's not the right shape. We can't go up. That will work. That doesn't work because that's the wrong. And that's an 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we have the precision window jeweled. And apologies for skipping over a few puzzles in the middle. But I'm going to leave it there for today. And I'll be back again soon with another one. Thank you very much for watching.